Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 8 video lessons. Students, today we are going to start our new unit, unit number 9, and the title is Jalebis. It's a very interesting story with a very good moral lesson. I hope that you have read it. The theme that was explored in the lesson is safety, ethics, and values. And the sub-theme is confiding in family members and integrity. Now, so we are talking about being safe, being full of ethics, and having good moral, ethical values. And in that, so we need to be very much truthful and maintain our integrity and dignity. So if you read this lesson, the text, you will have a very good time and you will have a joy in understanding it, and also you will get a very good moral lesson. We will talk about it in our theme overview. This is our introductory lecture where I will introduce you with all these different learning outcomes that we will be covering ahead in our video lesson series. So the theme overview, let's talk about it. The story explores the internal conflict between temptation and responsibility. So temptations are natural. If you don't control it, they will be out of hand and you will be losing your integrity and trust. And there is a struggle between temptation and being responsible. The narrator grapples with the desire to indulge in a simple pleasure. For example, in this lesson, he ate jalebis with the fee money versus his duty to use the money for its intended purpose. The text highlights the importance of making ethical choices even when faced with difficult circumstances and the power of family support in overcoming challenges. So, we are talking about maintaining our integrity, being very much responsible and truthful. So the boy in the story actually utilized the fee money for eating jalebis, and then he got in trouble. He couldn't manage the money, and then he prayed to God and asked for forgiveness. Then he confided into his family, and then the issue was resolved. However, this is a very interesting narration. I hope that this will enlighten you and this will instill in you the values that we are talking about in the main lesson. Let's talk about all these different lectures. Lecture number 1, we will be talking about prepositions. The competency we are exploring here is grammar. We have to identify and use compound prepositions and prepositional phrases in writing. Yes, compound prepositions, prepositions with more than one words when they are coming together, and we will also talk about prepositional phrases. Phrases, those phrases that include prepositional words. Next one, we will talk about these two learning outcomes merged in one lecture. Use aspect of time correctly in speech and writing. And when we are talking about time, students, we know that we need to understand and use all types of tenses correctly in speech and writing. So we'll talk about tenses thoroughly and how we can deal with time in our sentences. Lecture number 3, here we will distinguish between the connotative and denotative meaning of words, both similar and dissimilar denotations, and their appropriate use in a variety of writing and text. Students, when we are talking about words, we know that they hold meanings, but the meanings can be of different types. The dictionary, the literal meaning, and the culturally influenced or emotional meaning, which we call connotative meaning. We will see how they are, what they are, and how we can understand the meaning of any word in both these contexts. Lecture number 4A, we will talk about analyze how an author develops and contrasts the point of view of different characters or narrators in a text. And next one is to analyze how particular elements of a story or drama interact. And we know that a story has different elements that make it up a story. Now, we are going to particularly see that how the setting shapes the characters or plot. We are familiar with these terms. If not, I'll introduce you with them in the lesson. We will talk about characters, how the story is narrated, point of views, narrative perspectives, the first person, second, and third, and we will also see that how the setting of the story has a very good impact on the plot and different characters. So this is all about fiction. This is about reading competency. Lecture number 4B, we will talk about to determine a theme or central idea of a text and analyze its development over the course of the text. We will provide an objective summary of the text, read an extensive range of fiction and non-fiction books, and guess the meaning of the words and phrases in the text. We know that a text includes a theme or a central idea. And we will also see that how we can write objective summary that does not include our opinions and interpretations. This is very much important to learn, students, so I hope that you're ready for it. Be prepared. We will see them, and we will read a range of different books, and we will talk about some recommendations as well, and then by following it you can become good readers and ultimately enhance your communication skills. Lecture number 4C, we will identify and analyze stages of plot development in a fiction text. We will talk about all these stages that we have in a plot. Plot is actually a story, but in a very organized manner. The events are sequenced. So we have the starting, exposition, setting, climax, character development, and resolution. So there's one story element included, but the rest of them are actually the stages of plot development. We will talk about them in detail so that we can better analyze and enhance our reading comprehension when we are reading any fictional text, story, novella, or anything. Lecture number 5, we'll talk about using common punctuation cues or hints to aid comprehension when reading. We'll talk about these punctuation marks: comma, full stop, or exclamation mark, colon, dash, parenthesis, slash, and ellipses. So we will technically see that how these punctuation marks, how do they work, and how we can use them correctly, and how we can use them in order to understand any text as well, because punctuation actually leads to the understanding and comprehension of the text. Lecture number 6A, we'll talk about exploring complex ideas and issues in drama, establish roles, and apply dramatic approaches with confidence. So this is about performance. Since this is about your oral communication and to have a very good oral competency, we will talk about role play and how a drama is made and what are these different parts and how you can perform it on the stage as well in order to enhance your speaking skills. So this talks about performing, developing a very good confidence in you as a performer, as a student of English language. The last lecture will be about writing. We will write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective techniques, relevant descriptive details, and well-structured event sequences. One of the most important type of writing is narrative writing, and we can write both fictional and non-fictional narratives. Now we need to see that how we can create a very good piece of narrative writing. So buckle up, students, be prepared. I hope that now you have a very good understanding of all these learning outcomes of different categories and competencies. We'll talk about them in the upcoming lecture series. I'll see you on the other side with lecture number 1 of Unit 9. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.